whatever you want. Hey folks, welcome to Mr. Tipples right downtown San Francisco. Sitting here in the dark. That was 3 by Jerome Kern, the Dean of American Songwriters. He's kind of the earliest one. And I did I'm Old Fashioned, Smoke Gets in Your Eyes, and Yesterdays. He wrote quite a few nice ones. Died rather young. I think I'll do one more that's kind of obscure in the key of A. The folks who live on the hill. Folks who live on the hill.
Eric, thank you for coming in to Mr. Tipples. So glad to have you here, enjoying it. Turn your mic up a little bit. Where have you been? So glad to have you.
Laying low. Yeah, I don't get around much anymore. Been sitting at home practicing, sleeping a lot.
Musically, what have you been? How have you been staying fresh, staying interested?
Oh yeah, I've been practicing a little bit. I'm not sure I'm going to pull anything too new out, but going back to my Jelly Roll Morton. I've been trying to learn this tune. It's called The Crave for years. I did discover a nice version by John Cleary, New Orleans guy, does a real good job with it.
He's been streaming a ton out of New Orleans as well.
Oh, yeah?
He's been very active online.
Good. Yeah, he's something else. He plays. He knows the history, too.
Nice. What tune is up next?
Yeah, I thought I'd do a little blues. Jimmy Reed. big city. It's going to my baby's head. The bright lights, the big city. Oh, going to my baby's head. You're gonna wish you had listened to some of those things I said. Go ahead, pretty baby. Go ahead and knock yourself out. Yeah, go ahead, pretty baby. Why don't you go ahead and knock yourself out? You're still my kind of woman, but you don't know what it's all about. You're gonna need my help one day. Yeah, go ahead, pretty baby. You're gonna need my help one day. You're gonna wish you had listened to some of those things I say. If you're going up to the city, you better take some cash. If you're going up to the city, you better take some cash. You got no money in the city, son, you're just a piece of trash. Or if you're staying in the city, you got to learn to shout. Well, when you're staying in the city, you got to learn to shout. If you don't stand up and holler, you're gonna be left out. When you're staying in the city, you'd better lock your door. If you're staying in the city, you better lock your door. Well, they'll take everything you got, son, and then they'll ask you for more. Okay, I got a little spare change. If you're going up to the city, there's two things that I hope. If you just got to go out there to mean old San Francisco, there are two things that I hope. I hope you won't take money from a woman. I hope you won't start messing around with dope. Let that be a lesson to you. Okay, rolling right along. Let's see, I guess it's time for another one of my public service messages. This is one I learned recently. It's kind of a country tune by the Bear Flag Trio out of Sacramento. Well, late last week, my sweetheart took me home to meet the folks. I thought I'd ask her father for her hand, but I got nervous as we sat down around the table for our meal, and I drank a little more wine than I had planned. Well, wouldn't you know it, I got drunk and started getting mean. She tried to get me up and out the door. I pinched her mama on the bottom, slapped her daddy, then I fought him. I threw up and I passed out on the floor. I'd like a second chance at my first impression. The way that I acted was a sin. I'd like a second chance at my first impression. I wish that I could do it all again. Well, I was out of work and low on funds, so things were pretty grim. To get a job I thought would be a simple task, but I was nervous for that interview, so I thought I'd have a drink. But I took too many pulls off of my flask. Well, I walked into that office with whiskey on my breath. Besides the fact I was 20 minutes late, I said I need to make $100,000 and I need time out for my band. And I asked the secretary for a date. I'd like a second chance at my first impression. The way that I acted was a sin. I'd like a second chance at my first impression. I wish that I could do it all again. Yeah, I wish that I could do it all again. A cautionary tale. They're called cautionary tales.
Full of sage advice while you're here.
There you go. We're not just doing music. Valuable life lessons we're dispensing.
That is music itself. It's just valuable life lessons. And
Okay. I thought I might do a little spring set. I often play this one by Willie the Lion Smith. It's called Echoes of Spring. And I got a couple others here, so it's Spring is here. And spring will be a little late this year. Thank you. Spring will be a little late this year. Maybe in 2022 we can do it.
We'll do spring next year. This one was a skip.
Yeah, I thought I'd play a couple originals. I'm hoping my buddy Jimmy is
here.
Jimmy DeShoney.
Yes, it's amazing how much the internet is able to bring us together and bring people here without being here.
He's all the way down there in Belo Horizonte, Brazil.
Amazing. We got, I believe you have some family on here as well. Wes in Montana.
All right. Howdy, Wes. Savannah.
Amazing, and Jimmy down in Brazil. And we see a few names on here from regulars of the club who are just live across the street.
Sweet.
So it's building community through the pipes of the internet.
Appreciate people tuning in. I hope you're enjoying it. Anyway, this one's for Jimmy. We used to sit in his little closet studio and work up these tunes back in the early 80s, maybe even before that. Yeah, this one's called Lean Wolf, was the title of our vinyl LP. Came out in 1984. you go.
Love it. Thank you.
Gecko Groove and Lean Wolf.
Sorry to everybody who's watching at home. We lost a camera. Oh, we have a camera back now.
Oh, okay.
So,
It's a new science down here, all around everybody, but they actually got a pretty nice setup. My kudos to the production team. All right, you maybe one more.
let's do one more, and then we'll take a little cocktail
All right,
break
all
and get you
right.
a little more bourbon.
Okay. All right, we're lighten it up a little bit. This one's called Moon Song. Well, I gotta get my old tuxedo pressed, sew a button on my vest. Tonight I'm gonna have to look my best, 'cause Lulu's back in town. I gotta get a half a buck somewhere, shine my sleeves, slick my hair, go out and buy a boutonniere, 'cause Lulu's back in town. Tell all my pets, these hate street coquettes, that Mr. Schifrin regrets that he won't be around. You got to tell the mailman not to call. I'm not coming home until next fall. You know I might not get back at all, 'cause Lulu's back in town. Okay, that's going to do it for the first half, but don't go away. We're going to have a delightful absinthe cocktail. And it's not made with wormwood anymore, apparently. So.
No, absinthe is still made with
Oh,
wormwood.
it is.
Yeah.
So the
That's
brain
good. That's what
rot
makes it
will
good.
still apply.
Yeah.
Okay, folks, please stick around.
Stay with us. We're going to move some cameras around. Sit tight. We'll be right back.
Hey there, guys. I'm Roger. I'm back with another cocktail demonstration. Today we're going to be doing something pretty simple, a very classic, straightforward drink, just the Sazerac. We're not even going to put any kind of special twist on it for you. We're just going to show you what I believe to be the appropriate Sazerac technique. So Sazerac's a very old classic cocktail out of New Orleans. The original version actually called for cognac. However, a lot of old cocktails originally were with cognac, and by our modern standards would probably be considered a little too sweet. More sort of sugary cocktails were pretty popular in the early days because either spirits weren't really as high quality or just because sugar was a little harder to get. So it was kind of more of a luxury to have something really sweet. Now we look for a little bit more balance. So in this case, I'm going to be using rye for our Sazerac, which has kind of become the standard Sazerac spirit. So Sazerac is pretty much just 4 ingredients: sugar, Peychaud's bitters, which we'll go over in just a second, rye or cognac, and absinthe. Now, absinthe is probably one of the most misunderstood spirits there is, but let's just get a couple of things straight with it. So first of all, what it essentially is, it is a spirit itself. So it's not a liqueur. The difference being a liqueur has sugar added to it afterwards. Absinthe does not. In fact, famously, absinthe is usually considered fairly bitter, although I think by, again, most kind of modern definitions, you wouldn't really think of it as bitter, but it's very, very hot, which means it has a very high alcohol content. So what that does is it means that the high alcohol content pulls a lot of flavor out of the botanicals that are used to flavor it, one of them being wormwood, which is kind of the famous one. Wormwood itself being super bitter, also has trace amounts of this hallucinogenic chemical in it. So absinthe used to have a reputation as being something that could actually make you hallucinate. It's not really true. It's just that it's very, very high alcohol content, and you get drunk off of it pretty easily. So it also means that a little bit of it goes a long way. A lot of alcohol, a lot of flavor that it's pulling from all the various herbs used to flavor it, so you don't need a whole lot of it to get a little bit of that flavor in your drink. Now, the primary flavor for absinthe is anise. Most absinthe is made with anise and sweet fennel, both of which have a flavor property very similar to licorice. It's the same kind of chemical that's in all of those plants. So that's the dominant flavor that you're going to be getting. So Sazerac is a fairly sweet, very, very spirit-forward, very boozy, sort of licorice-flavored drink. So what you do with the absinthe first, before you put anything else in your glass, you want a nice, clean, empty glass, and you're going to put just a very small splash of absinthe. You don't even really need to measure it, because what you're doing is you're rinsing the inside of the glass. So basically, you take the very small amount of absinthe, and you're just letting it run along the outer, or the inner rim of the glass, and just sort of coating it with that absinthe. So you're going to get just like a nice, subtle absinthe flavor. You're not going to add a whole lot of booze to it this way. And you want to just shake out the rest of it. So you don't want like a little pool of absinthe in there, or else it's going to overly flavor it. Now, one of the cool things about absinthe being so high in alcohol content is it wets to glass, which means that it sticks to it. So like when you're tasting wine and you're seeing the legs from the wine, that's actually because of the alcohol. Alcohol sticks to glass more than most other liquids, more than water. So it'll actually kind of stick to the inside of your glass. You probably can't really see it, but I promise it's there. If you try this at home, you'll see it. All right, so the next thing we're going to do, I like to use a sugar cube. You can absolutely use simple syrup. You can use just a little bit of regular sugar. The reason I like a sugar cube is because it actually doesn't dissolve all the way when you make the drink, which means that you're going to get it less sweet in the very beginning, and then at the very end, you're going to get a nice little pop of sweet flavor. So I think that's kind of pleasant. Well, evidently, my Peychaud's bitters do not actually have its little, oh, here we go. Its little spout on it. We take those off when we're making it here because we batch things with it, but whatever. So you're only going to use 2 dashes of Peychaud's bitters. You're not going to pour in a ton like I just did, but it's actually going to be approximately this much. It's basically just enough to actually soak into the sugar cube, and then you're just going to break it up with a muddler. So there you go. So yeah, you're going to basically soak your sugar cube in a little bit of Peychaud's bitters. Now, Peychaud's bitters, much like absinthe, have that like nice anise flavor, but it's even more concentrated than absinthe, but it doesn't add as much alcohol. So it's basically a way to add more of that nice flavor, but not booze out the drink to the point where it's, you know, too hot. And then we're going to do our rye. So again, Sazerac is a pretty boozy drink, and because I used the whole sugar cube, I need enough spirit to kind of offset the amount of sweetness that I have. So I'm actually going to use 3 full ounces of rye. That's 2, 3. So rinse the inside of your glass with the absinthe, a couple of dashes of Peychaud's bitters, and you're going to do 3 ounces of rye, along with your sugar cube. I'm going to give that a quick little stir while the liquid's still room temperature to kind of dissolve the sugar a little. And then I'm just going to add my cube, and we're going to stir it right in the glass. So this is, unlike some other drinks where you might stir them in a separate glass and really get a lot of that dilution in there, we actually don't want to dilute this too much. We want it to be cold, so we're going to stir it up, but we don't want to get a whole lot of extra water in there because it's supposed to be very, very spirit forward, and you don't want to dilute the nice flavors. All right, that ought to do it. Usually about a 30-second stir. I actually went a little light on this one because, again, I really just want to cool it down. I don't want it to get too much water in there. And then the last thing is your garnish is just going to be a little lemon twist. Now this is actually important. The garnish is not just for decoration. It does actually add some flavoring element. So you're going to hold it shiny side down, and you're going to squeeze it right over top. That's going to release the oils and let them settle right on the top of the drink, and that's just going to add a nice little lemon aroma. It's not going to really affect the flavor necessarily, but it will affect the aroma, which does have the effect of changing the flavor of it. So when you go to drink it, you're going to get that sort of lemon oil scent, and then you're going to get all that nice anise flavor, and then after you swallow, you're going to feel all that nice rye. And you want to use kind of a higher proof rye if you can. We're using a 100 proof rye, which is any bonded rye is going to be 100 proof. And that's something that's easy to look for, and that's going to really be your most authentic Sazerac. Cheers.
Welcome back.
You from? Yeah, that's one I've been-
Remember where your microphone is. We're mishearing you. Where are you?
Okay, yeah, I've been working on that one for forever. Just like all of them, this Cubano Chant by Ray Bryant. Probably the coolest guy ever. All right, I had some requests. Paul Mailing wanted this one. He's on this stage quite a bit with the Hot Club of San Francisco. We've played a few times. So he likes this one I do by Don Redman, way back in the 20s, but still has a modern message. Well, I'm staying single. I got my conscience at ease. I'm free to mingle. Yeah, I'm doing what I please. And when I step out nights, no one has my keys. I keep my dates nights, doing what I please. Well, I don't have star borders. They try to keep you on the shelf. And I ain't taking orders, I just go along enjoying myself. And should I go sailing right across the 7 seas, no one can stop me 'cause I'm doing what I please. You know, I have romances, just like a dog has fleas. I take in all the dances, I'm doing what I please. I blow into these parties just like a reckless breeze. I outsmart all those other smarties, 'cause I'm doing what I please. And when you find no action, you'll find there's blues about. I get my satisfaction only when I'm stepping out. And should I get a little tipsy at one of these jamborees, no one can stop me 'cause I'm doing, yeah, I'm doing what I please. Let that be a lesson to you. Howdy, Paul. I hope you're out there. Hope you come back soon.
We're trying to get Paul in actually next Wednesday night.
Really?
Yeah, Paul should be here.
Droopa.
Plays here every Monday and can't wait to get more music on the stage.
Yeah,
more people
stay,
in the club.
stay tuned on the Mr. Tipple channel. Okay, here's one I've been struggling with for years again. Astor Piazzolla. He's like a modern tango composer. Supposed to play this on the bandoline, but gonna try it on the piano. This is called Adios, No Niño. Okay. Okay. They're working on my Sazerac back there. Okay. I've got a lovely little student named Tatiana, and I'm trying to teach her this one. I told her I'd play this for her. It's called Temptation. It's actually one of the first songs I ever saw a live band play. We used to go down to the L.A. Philharmonic to see the orchestra with Lewis. And we went down there one night, and a little trio outside the Dorothy Chandler Pavilion, little tuba, snare, drum, and tenor sax. And they were playing this tune, just killed me. Temptation. Temptation. All right. Yeah, it goes. It's an epic. It goes on and on forever. Let's see. What do I got now? All right. I've been. Sometimes I'll dabble in rock tunes. And there was one my sister had, a Donovan record from way back. Nobody knows Donovan anymore, but he had Mellow Yellow was his big hit, and Sunshine Superman. But this one kind of slipped through the cracks. I'm gonna try to do it for you. when the night has left you cold and feeling sad. Well, I'll show you that it cannot be so bad. Yeah, forget the one who went and made you cry. I'll sing a song for you. And when you feel you just can't make it anymore, your head's bent down, you're staring at the floor, reach out to me with your weary eyes. I'll sing a song for you. When the night has left you cold and feeling sad, I will show you that it cannot be so bad. Reach out to me with your weary eyes. I'll sing a song for you. Yeah, that's what I'm here to do. Every man, he's got his work, you know. And to find out mine, you ain't got far to go. Reach out to me with your weary eyes. I'll sing a song for you. Yeah, that's what I'm here to do, to sing for you. Okay, that one was an original called I owe you, that's to remind me that I owe you an extra verse on the Donovan song. But we'll get to it. We just can't give you everything you want all at one time. Okay, we got time for.
We got time for one more, yeah.
All right. Let's try to come out with a little funky stuff. Thanks a lot for coming out. Please chip in on the link. I think it's Jazz in the Neighborhood, right?
Jazz in the Neighborhood.
They're great folks, and they're going to do a lot of these. Heaven, please send to all mankind understanding and peace of mind. And if it's not asking too much, please send me someone to love. Well, show the world how to get along. I know that peace will enter when hate is gone. And if it's not asking too much, please send me someone to love. I lay awake each night, I see a world of trouble. My answer is always the same. Unless man put an end to this damnable sin, hate will lead the world in a flame. What a shame, just because I'm in misery. No, I won't beg for sympathy, but if it's not asking too much, please send me someone to love. I lay awake every night, I see a whole world of trouble, and my answer is always the same. Unless man put an end to this damnable sin, you know, hate will lead the world in a flame. What a shame, but just because I'm in misery, no, I won't beg for sympathy, but if it's not asking too much, please send me someone to love. Oh, heaven, please send me someone to love. to keep on going. Thank you, Jay. Thank you, Mr. Tipple. Thanks, everyone at home. Have a good night. Thank